Okay, so let's have a look at what generators are. So this is going to be a pretty quick one, and generators are quite powerful in that it once again it helps to build up a nice amount of detail automatically. So I'm going to right click on my top layer in my mask stack, and then I'm going to come down to this list again. At the very top there is add generator. So I'm just going to click on that, and it adds a generator. And if we look at the properties panel, you can see that there's this button that says no generator selected. So just simply click on it, okay? And you can see that when you click on that button, it will give you this pop-up list of all the generators that you can use. So just by virtue of looking at the name, there's some really interesting ones like curvature, ambient occlusion, dirt, that sort of stuff. But I think the one that's probably going to be most helpful to this particular example is going to be this one over here called Metal Edgeway. So I'm just going to click on that. And what that has now done is it's loaded that generator into this generator layer. Okay. So, all right. So what are these generators once again? So they are essentially generators will help to create a detailed mask based off of the surface of the geometry. And each generator can have a particular kind of function. So this one, its whole purpose is to replicate some of the kind of edgeway. And the way that it's able to do this, and the way that it's able to build this and understand where these edges are, is because of the fact that we generated our mesh maps in the very beginning. So if we scroll down with our generator layer selected, if we scroll down in the properties panel, we can see that here are our mesh maps that have now automatically been loaded in. So this is really like a great visual example of how it is that Substance utilizes those mesh maps, and also why it's so important that we do that as our first step. Because if we didn't do that, then these generators, they wouldn't work. Okay. So if we just come back to this result over here, we can see that it's really cool in that it's understanding where the edges are, and it's looking at the sharpness of the edges and determining where they would, more than likely be some metal edgeway. Okay. Even over here as well. It's really great. The only thing is that it's reversed at the moment. I kind of want it the other way around. I don't want it to look as though the paint is being revealed on these edges. I want to do the opposite. I want it to look as though the paint is being chipped away on the edges. So a standard thing that you'll find on pretty much all masks and fill layers and generators is that here towards the top, there's always going to be an invert function. Okay, so if I just click on invert, then as the name suggests, it has now inverted that. And you can now see that I've got this paint that's now chipping away. And much like what we covered in the previous video, we can use the layer blending mode to get it to play nicely with the underlying layers. So if we had to set this to something like multiply, once again, notice how I'm able to hold onto that edgeway while at the same time also bring in all of that underlying detail.